your breaking news and weather authority. This is 13 Wham News at 11.
Just want to mention, this is my last show if you just tuned in.
The end of an era in Rochester broadcasting, a sudden sign-off from Brother Wease.
Yeah, these executives, like I said in the beginning of my show, they crack me up, man. They sit around in their big chairs, in their big offices, wondering why podcasts are king right now. And then you don't even give a proper send-off to someone that's been doing the show since Ronald Reagan was in office. Dummies.
Area radio personalities, past and present, reflecting.
I thought you loved radio, though.
On his career tonight.
Wease affected so many people. I don't even think he has an idea of how many people he affected in a positive way.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. He's a little rough around the edges or whatever, but Brother Wease and Levin are two different people, and they're kind of the same. I met Brother Wease at the morning show boot camp, and I'll talk about that in a second. But to tell you that he was everything I wanted him to be is not even saying enough. The dude's the best.
Today, longtime local radio legend Brother Wease abruptly announcing his departure from 95.1. Good evening. I'm Karen Edwards.
I'm Matt Malloy. Wease became a household name over his decades-long career. 13 Wham's Daniel Finkelstein joins us now with reaction from colleagues in Rochester radio and loyal listeners. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening to both of you. Brother Wease's career dates back more than 40 years when he started on WCMF. Today, the National Radio Hall of Famer ended his last morning talk show with familiar words.
It's nice to be important.
But it's more important to be nice. Yeah!
A familiar voice in Rochester radio bidding farewell to listeners for the last time on Thursday.
You just can't thank people enough. The texts are cryable.
Yeah,
I love you people.
Alan Levin, better known as Brother Wease, announcing his departure from 95.1. Listeners reacting to the news online. One saying, quote, "Good luck, Wease, and we'll totally miss your shows."
I have another guy, Rover, in the morning. Rover's Morning Glory, my former boss, who could never, ever beat Brother Wease in the ratings and did mediocre at best when he was at 94.1 The Zone. That's your cash cow? Playing the same Papa Roach songs and Metallica songs and having Rover's Morning Glory in the morning? Yeah! Good luck.
Another saying, quote, "Thank you for your service to the community, and you will be missed."
I literally...
This is Wheels. He's freaking funny, man.
...was crying when I heard the announcement.
For David Maxwell, perhaps better known as Wheels, a nickname given to him by Wease, the news is hard to swallow.
I got the news late last night, and it's always tough. I've been with Brother Wease for 14 years, every Friday.
Maxwell sharing these photos from over the years.
That's the thing is, like, Brother Wease gave a shot to people, and I'm not trying to say being in a wheelchair makes you different. I'd say I'm more different as a tall radio nerd than David Wheels. But what I'm saying is, like, he gave a chance to people that other radio shows that think they're so cool with their fake prank calls and their pretty boy self, gotta look good on video, the ones that they wouldn't even look at. Brother Wease was like, that's my crew.
A mentor who helped him early on.
We just started talking, and one thing led to another. We went out to a couple dinners, and then he said, "You should come on up to the show."
A storied career, including years broadcasting on WCMF. In 2021, national recognition as an inductee to the Radio Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah, bruh.
A couple years later, he joined the Rochester Music Hall of Fame class of 2023. For Northeast radio editor Scott Feibush, the departure marks the end of an era.
It really is. I was thinking about that. Because iHeart's just going to have Rover making fun of Jeffrey until Rover decides to go off air, and it'll be middle of the road ratings. This could finally be when Rover gets a #1 rating outside of Cleveland, but we know that's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is they're not building anybody new. It'll just be the same Papa Roach and the same Shinedown, I think that's the name of a band, and the same Metallica songs. Radio doesn't get it, man. It's really, really sad. Radio thinks that their audience is stupid.
He mentored so many people.
PJ Shea in Seattle, Opie from Opie and Anthony, Stephanie Miller. You can even say me, Paul Guglielmo. I mean, the list goes on and on. David Wheels.
In this industry, and there are so many people, not just in Rochester, but around the country, who can point to Wease and say he was the guy who got me going in that business. It's a fantastic legacy for him.
According to Radio Insight, the announcement came as Radio 95.1 was rebranded as Rock 95.1.
Oh, what an original name! Yeah! Can't wait to hear Metallica.
Changing from a talk to music format and shuffling personnel across properties owned by iHeartMedia in Rochester.
Oh, that's going to go well. A voice tracker from Philadelphia trying to relate to a weird city, a strange city like Rochester. That's going to go well.
Wease says he and his son will launch a podcast in January.
I'm trying to figure out if I can help Wease with this podcast. This guy right here, Brother Wease, I think the world of him.
I guess this is it. The company has researched the market.
I love Weeze's just how condescending he is in this clip.
Rochester needs a real rock station, a fresh sound with some familiar voices and an attitude. Well, I thank you people so much for listening.
According to Radio Insight, Wease says he was offered a couple opportunities, and in a statement, the president of iHeartMedia for upstate New York said in part, they're excited to bring a fresh, authentic rock experience to rock.
Oh, playing the same 5 songs. So authentic. Bringing in a morning show that's from Cleveland, just replacing a guy that's always been in your city. So authentic.
Rochester.
That's like going to Taco Bell and saying, oh, Taco Bell is so authentic.
Matt and Karen, back to you.
All right, let's move along to our final story that we want to talk about. Radio listeners will notice a big change this morning on 95.1.
Yeah, radio legend Brother Wease abruptly announced his retirement yesterday, ending a decades-long career on the air.
The announcement comes as Radio 95.1 was rebranded, changing from a talk and music format to and shuffling personnel across properties owned by iHeartMedia in Rochester.
Wease also said he was offered to move his show to weekends and another station, but instead says he and his son will launch a podcast in January.
This announcement shocked a lot.
There we go. They're just repeating what they said before. I'm going to play 2 clips for you. And then we're going to come back on Happy Hour, keep this party going. But first of all, I want to play for you the first ever time I went on Brother Wease's radio show back in good old 2013. And then it's a little bit of Brother Wease and myself addressing the time we were attacked by Rover's Morning Glory, who ended up replacing him. How weird.
So want to be Screw, but we're 95.1 The Brew. And in Chicago last weekend, we met young Ryan Hoppe or Hoppe. Ryan.
What's up, Brother Wease? How's it going, my man?
Is it Hoppe or Hop?
Hoppe.
Hoppe. Ryan Hoppe, who is a mere 19. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yes, I will be 20 years old next month, so
20 next
I'm pretty
month.
much 19 now.
Can't even drink yet legally. And he's 6'6", and he's a radio nut. He lives to be on the radio and be in the radio business. He interned at Morning Show Boot Camp, had all the people he loves around him, and he's 6'6" and trying to break into the business.
How long have you been on the have you worked at a radio station, Ryan?
I was heard at WHCM, which is Harper College Radio, here in Illinois for about 6 months. And now I do some fill-in at Northwestern Radio. So I have some on-air experience, and I do some podcasting as well. So I'm just trying to get that foot in the door.
Where do you podcast?
You can find my work at ryanhoppeshow.weebly.com. It's from the website Spreaker, and I just do it probably 3 times a week. And I just read the news and give my opinion on things.
When's the last time you did one, Brother Ryan?
Probably last week because I've been a bit busy, but I've been emailing everybody from the conference, just trying to get that foot in the door. And I just have a lot of fun when I do podcasts, because it's just like an open forum where I can speak my mind, give my opinion.
No,
it's
Marianne,
just a lot of fun.
Marianne, how do people do that? You just you buy a cheap microphone and plug it into your computer, and that's it? It's all the only tools you need?
You
on
could go to Radio
Spreaker,
Shack.
you can talk right into your iPhone on Spreaker.
Into your iPhone?
You know how I know that?
No.
I'm on Spreaker. The same thing he's on.
How many podcasts do you do, Paul?
I do 2 every day. I do my own personal one, and then I do one with Billy and Brooksy, the producers podcast.
Yeah, but the personal one you do over there.
Yeah, it is
What
available.
about the other one with the phone?
No, that is how you can do it through Spreaker. Spreaker is actually a way. I post mine on iHeartRadio. You can search Paul Guglielmo on iHeartRadio and hear mine. It's also on Kiss1067.com. Spreaker is just sort of a marriage between the two, if you will.
And so, what story did you have your biggest opinion on, Ryan?
I'm trying to think of just some things that I talk about. I talk about everything in the news. Like, let's say when Detroit went broke, I just went on a huge rant because during that same week they were going to try and build a new place to have a hockey arena. And my whole point was like,
it is. They call Detroit Hockey Town.
I know that, but they're also broke. It's like, why are you wasting money on a pointless sport? Like, there are bigger things there, like being broke and having empty buildings in Detroit. So I'll talk about things like that. I'll talk about local bad Chicago Cub baseball. I'll have some of my friends on to give their analysis on that. It's like a cross between the everyday guy talk show to like the everyday sports talk show. It's like nothing anyone has ever heard. It's a very unique talk show.
It's unique, Ryan.
Yeah, it's very unique. I do my own thing.
Who's your sidekicks? How old are they?
I just do the show on my own, and I'll have people call in,
So what is, if you do it by, how do people call in? They can't hear you. Or when you do those things, are they live calling?
You'll invite them to call.
Yeah, you can send out on Twitter or something.
I invite them to call, and then I just put it next to the mic. It's a pretty lame setup right now.
Yeah, you're getting it done. How did you know about boot camp? We were all...
Chicago.
Yeah. So you knew about it through the radio thing, and you just thought, I'm going to go on my own.
He got hired. He was an intern for Don Anthony. Is that right?
Yeah, here's what happened. I was Facebook friends with Don, and I just sent him this long email saying, I'm trying to get into the business. Do you know of any internships in Chicago? And he was like, well, I don't as of right now, but would you want to come to my one radio conference this August in Chicago? And right when he said that, it changed my life. I was just so pumped.
How'd you know about Wease?
Wait, what?
How do you know about Wease living in Chicago?
I'm actually a big Opie and Anthony fan, and there was this one time Wease filled in for, or he guest hosted on Opie and Anthony, and then I just looked him up after that, and I've been a big fan of him probably since 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've just been a big fan of him.
My man Ryan Hoppe.
Ryan, I was actually jealous of Ryan at Morning Show Boot Camp because, he has the guts to walk up to everybody and talk to them and ask their advice.
We had our luggage, and he got us right away. He's like, I am a big fan.
And there's times I get intimidated sometimes with the Brother Weases of the world. I'm kind of,
I've been sweating ever since this morning.
But, there's some guys there that I get intimidated to talk to. Ryan, hell no. Ryan walks right up and says, what advice do you have? And I'm
first of all, you know what? He's got the curse.
Yeah. Well,
he's 6'6", and he's probably been dominating over people his whole life. So he goes, what are they going to say to me? Right, Ryan?
Yeah, exactly. That's just the way I live life, Brother Wease,
Where are you from?
I'm just from the Chicagoland area. And I'm a big fan of talk radio out here. I used to listen to Opie and Anthony when they were on, and that was the main show that made me want to go into talk radio.
There you go. Wow. Well, listen, good luck, Brother Ryan. We'll see.
So there's that. And then here's me and Brother Wease addressing that scumbag known as Shane French. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Last time I was on your show, I said some things about the Rover. And of course it got back to him. But I have to tell you, bro, I can't, now he's now he's on before me, on my station. And I see the text. For some reason, I'm sure the guy's fabulous. I've never listened, but I hear that it's for younger people. I don't know anything.
Well,
boy, go ahead.
You know what's funny? So here's what made that interview legendary. So I got fired from his show in March 2015. They kept feeding me drinks at this bar crawl, and I got blackout drunk. I was 21 on the biggest show in Cleveland, and I got really drunk. And I'll take responsibility. But they also were looking for a reason to get rid of me. But here's what's funny. 6 months later, in September 2015, I interviewed you, and you were trying to pump me up because at that time, Rover was talking about me all the time. And you asked me, how many listeners do you get on your podcast? And now I've gone to speech class. I've really worked on my speech impediment over the last 10 years. And you asked me, how many listens do you get? And with my ADHD, I said 70 downloads. Like I really emphasized the downloads. And for the and he played our audio on air. And I'll get these tweets all the time, bro. 9 years later, people are like 70 downloads. It's the weirdest thing ever, bro.
Why? You know, were you friends with the kid?
With Rover?
Yeah.
He was really talented and I learned a lot, but we didn't really vibe.
So why did they want to get rid of you?
I was young and immature. Like I had just moved out of my house and, my role on the show was more of like a whipping boy. It wasn't ever going to be something that was respected. I'll take some blame for like being a little immature in that, but people still talk about me. People listen to my show from Cleveland. Like I made an impact on that city. Like for example, at my job, my boss is from Cleveland and all his friends knew who I was. And it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like Rover thought he was like going to hurt me by talking about me.
Right.
But it made me, I was there, bro, for 2.5 months.
That's it? Why? How'd you get the job in the first place?
He had an opening. So I was a fan of him when he was on in Chicago for like 7 months, 18 years ago, when he replaced Howard Stern for 7 months. And I was a fan of him. So he had an opening for the phone. So I drove out twice and it went pretty good, but he's definitely one of those cats that doesn't talk to anybody else. And I had aspirations to do bigger things than just answer phones forever. But I also take some blame. I was immature. I was getting drunk every weekend. But bro, he has like a lot of listeners in Cleveland and I was getting recognized everywhere. But it's just so funny, man. I'll post a podcast and some of the comments will be like 70 downloads, 70 downloads. I'm just like, wow, it's fascinating, bro.
So the 70 downloads, when people said that they're trying to make fun of you, correct?
Yeah, and it's like, you're talking about me. I've never committed a crime. I'm just like, you know what's funny? It's hilarious because it actually says more about Rover that he had to talk about me after I was let go. Like if I was so big and bad on his show, why did he continue to talk about me and some of my breakups I went through? I find you were never really a filthy shock jock. You were just a genuine non-radio guy that got into radio. But then 90s, 2000s era, Brother Wease, of the shock jock was a weird era, man. The whole thing is bizarre.
What speech impediment are you talking about?
I hide it and I got it fixed, but like sometimes, for example, I'll say words kind of long. So like I said 70 downloads. Like I really emphasized the download.
I got you.
And it's not that noticeable, but I was really nervous interviewing you back then. And it was so funny because I remember for like 2 months, I kept getting these tweets that said 70 downloads. And I'm like, what does this fucking mean? And then I asked somebody in Cleveland and they're like, oh, they keep playing your audio clip from your interview with Wease. But you know what I really think? Because I don't care anymore. It's going on 10 years. You know what I really think it was, bro? Was the fact that you were the king of that city. You are the king of Rochester, New York. I put up a picture of you coming on Happy Hour, and it gets 90 likes in an hour. Like, you are going to be remembered forever for that city. True. And Rover does well, but he's an out-of-towner that's syndicated there. And I think he was mad that he was trying to portray me as this idiot, and then I have the guy who crushed him in the ratings, and it was like, I think it drove him nuts, man.
Well, that's a strong possibility. And, you know, now being that he's on right in front of me, I mean, you could make fun. Well, why didn't he last in Chicago back when he was there?
I don't know if he wasn't a good fit, but it's very hard. I'll give him credit. He put on a good show because I was a fan of him, but it's very hard to replace Howard Stern. And that also, Chicago is Steve Dahl's city. And I mean, it's very hard to do a shock jock show when that city already had Mancow, Jonathan Brandmeier, Steve Dahl, Kevin Matthews. I just think it wasn't the best fit because Chicago already heard shock jock radio from those guys.
Wait a minute, you're telling me, like I said, I've never heard Rover's show. Mm-hmm. Is he a shock jock?
Oh, dude, he's filthy. He's very dirty. Not anymore, but he's like he'll have girls that are in porn on the show and that, and he's very dirty.
Bro, that shit is so old. Back in the day, I had all the naked broads. I had all the porn bitches. They had porn star. But, you know, as you grow older, as I was growing, I remember when I quit doing naked broads, and Stern was still doing them, and he finally, I think he quit.
Yes. Oops. That was my dedication to Brother Wease. Let's get back to September 6th, 2025. Mm-hmm. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back on Happy Hour and get this party going. But since iHeartRadio, the same company that claims they love radio, since they didn't give him a proper send-off, I wanted to. Mm-hmm.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
RyanHoppeRadio.com.
Happy Hour will be right back.
You probably had Taco Bell before.
Whenever we're going outside, all I smell is poop.
In the nuts, and we'll call it a day.